Good evening everybody, today we're back for another deep dive into Buckethead's Pike album series with Pike 89, The Time Traveler's Dream. So, let's begin. Woo! Released October 29th, 2014, Pike 89 was the 7th of 8 albums released that month, dropping a week after Pike 87, Interstellar Slump, days after the release of the outstanding Christopher Nolan movie Interstellar. So clearly Buckethead was in full-on space mode. The 9-track concept album features a crawl through 9 channels of the time traveler's dream, beginning with Channel 1. The track sets the dreamlike space vibe of the album perfectly with some simple but effective riffage, interlaced with various cut-ins and sound effect overlays, very reminiscent of the excellent Pike 23 Telescape. Channel 2 is the longest of the 9 channels at just under 4 minutes, with the previous riffage progressing nicely, picking up pace as it goes along with more space-like sound effect overlays that will be a common theme throughout the channels. Channel 3 slows things down at the opening before kicking in around the 1.5 minute mark, with the overlay sound effects continuing towards the latter part of the track. This one isn't as strong as the previous channels, unfortunately slightly slowing down the momentum early on. Channel 4 continues where Channel 3 left off until the latter part of the track where some nice chord picking comes in, somewhat reminiscent of Jimmy Page and Led Zeppelin. Nice. Channel 5 is more in line with the earlier tracks, shifting direction around the 1 minute mark to a more up-tempo beat with far more sound effect overlays. Along with Channel 2, it's the better of the channels so far, with a lot more going on. For Channel 6 we get the most sound effects and overlays so far. The effects might not be for everyone, but personally, just like the previously mentioned Pike 23 Telescape, I feel they add an extra dimension to the tracks and work especially well on this track. Channel 7 is the shortest of the channels at just under 2.5 minutes, and for me is the weakest channel, not really providing anything new that hasn't already been heard so far or helping the journey progress. Channel Channel 8 picks things back up, the sound effects are again on full display, and the riffage, though fairly simple, kicks back into foot-stomping gear effectively. Along with Channel 6, it's one of the album's best tracks, reaching a nice crescendo. The Time Traveler's dream ends with Channel 9. Whilst Channel 8 wrapped up the dream perfectly, Channel 9 acts somewhat as a post-credit scene, sparking images of the great sci-fi movies of the past, such as Close Encounters of the Third Kind and Alien, as well as shades of the intro track from Pike 7, The Shores of Molokai. A perfect end to the album that, as a standalone song, might not trigger the senses, but certainly does when you've travelled through the channels to get there. Overall, Pike 89 definitely has shades of the excellent Pike 23 Telescape, though not as strong, and as a concept album, it works well, musters up some space and sci-fi imagery, and is an enjoyable listen. The dream might feel a little long as the tracks go by, but Channel 9 wraps things up perfectly, making the journey worth it. Individually, the songs might not be ones you'll revisit that much, but that's not their purpose. This is meant to be heard as a whole, as an album, as one continuous dream, in which case it works. After adding up the rating I gave for each track, it came to a respectable 63%, which I categorise as good. And although this is clearly meant as one continuous piece, the rating of 63% and 4 stars feels about right. You can find my individual song ratings and breakdown on our website, natanet.com. So what's your rating for Pike 89? To work out what percentage you give the album, rate each song out of 5 stars, add up your total, and divide it by the total score possible, which for Pike 89 is 45. Then times it by 100, or simply rate the album as one complete suite.